Hey, how you doing? This is Coach Carvel Bailey, and in today's video, we're gonna talk about moving without the ball, right? So this video was inspired by, I believe, Miss Shakita Clark and Coach Fabian Chapman, right? So I'm doing some new trainings, right? So I'm in the lab doing some new trainings, and I just asked, right, for some opinions of what is it, and I'll ask you this question too before we get started today. What is it that as a parent, right, even as a coach, that your athlete is struggling with, and you know if they don't get it together soon, it may not be in their best interest, right? So Miss Shakita Clark, I believe that's her name, and Coach Fabian Chapman, right? This one is inspired by them, right? See me rocking my Truman College shirt on today, right? Where I got my very first head college coaching job back at Truman College. We did some great things, but my players understood these three things that I'm about to share with you to be able to share with your athlete that allow for us to catch people by surprise. With only 7 people on our team that year, we were able to catch people by surprise. And they just couldn't beat what they couldn't catch, right? Literally. So this video today is talking about moving without the ball. Moving without the ball. And I can go into it, right? I'm going to probably do a longer training on this for certain parents, but I'm going to just keep it brief today, right? So I'm going to give you 3 quick points, 3 reasons why athletes should be moving without the basketball, right? They should be moving without the basketball. And here, right, I got my notes written on a note card. So I'm gonna definitely be looking at them, right? But moving without the basketball does so many things for athletes. And so let's just get into it, right? Number one, the reason why one of the main reasons why athletes should move without the basketball, why it's in their best interest, excuse me, to move without the basketball, is that it balances the court, right? Excuse me. So if you have, let's say, 4 players on the right side and 1 on the left, the court isn't balanced, right? If you have 4 people at the top, 3 people, 1 down low, the court is not balanced, right? I know a lot of people run a lot of 1-4 sets. Well, the court may not necessarily be balanced, but moving without the basketball, your athlete may have to reposition themselves to another location on the court so that they can balance the court. And now by balancing the court, they learn to keep the defense honest. So they're not just moving without the basketball for themselves, they're moving for the collective whole of the team. Because now balancing the court will now help be more productive, right? So the number one reason why athletes should be moving without the ball is really to be able to help balance the court, okay? And the second reason, right, it makes athletes hard to guard, right? Let's be honest. Let's keep it a buck. Let's keep it 100. Let's be real. Whatever terminology you want to use with this thing, let's understand this. Moving without the basketball makes players harder to guard than when they do have the basketball. Why? Well, one reason why is because most defenders nowadays, right? Defense is not being taught anymore, right? Defense is just based on athletic ability. So most athletes, most basketball players nowadays only focus on playing defense on the ball. And so off the ball defense, which is really probably some of the easier defense, because now you're kind of playing a zone. It's like playing a zone versus a man-to-man, right? I don't want to go over your head with that. But now playing off the basketball, right, there are more responsibilities, and you have to be a little bit more focused than just focusing on that offensive person in front of you and just keeping them in front of you. So if athletes move without the basketball, it makes them harder to guard, really, if nothing else, because most defenders aren't very good off the ball defenders. They're not very good off the ball defenders. So when you move without the basketball, it makes you harder to guard because now that player has lost sight of you. They've lost you. Now, right? Watch this. Moving without the basketball makes you harder to guard, but it also now goes back to point one. It balances the court, and oftentimes it will put you in the gap of the defense, right? It'll put you in the gap of the defense. So the third point, and I'm looking at my notes, right? But this is the point why everybody should be moving without the basketball. It helps you score more, right? I'm not sure if you or your athlete, you're probably familiar, but get your athlete familiar with players like Reggie Miller, Ray Allen, right? Richard Hamilton. Those are the top 3 players that I can say that athletes, basketball players should study about moving without the basketball, because those 3 did it almost better than any others. Move without the basketball, now you will score more points because I just said athletes aren't great off-ball defenders. So if you move without the basketball and now you're harder to guard, it's going to allow for your athlete to be open, especially when they can get into the teeth of the defense, or they can get into the gap of the defense, right? Or they can get to their sweet spot by literally moving without the ball. Now when the ball comes to them, a great percentage of that time, they'll probably be open because the defender has lost them. The court is balanced, so they have options and they can see and make a good decision on their options. But if nothing more, they can move in a position to where now they're already ready to score the basketball, right? So if nothing more, those are the 3 reasons why athletes should be moving without the basketball, right? So Ms. Clark, Coach Chapman, those are 3 reasons, right? 1, right? Let me go back to it. Number 1, it balances the court. Number 2, it makes you harder to guard. And number 3, it allows athletes to score more, right? So if athletes want to score more, they have to learn to move without the basketball. And for those reasons, right? Now, listen, if you, right, know or have an idea of those things that's holding your athlete back, right? Just comment down here below, right? Maybe I'll make a video about it. Maybe not. I'm not sure, right? But if you don't know, right, and then you can use this video to be able to go help your athlete produce more and be a better player, ultimately helping them get recruited. But if you really don't know what your athlete is struggling with, right, then you probably definitely should ask those questions. Ask your athletes those questions to find out what they're struggling with, so that then you can know what they need to improve. All right, so I hope that this video helped you all. Listen, again, my name is Coach Carvel Bailey, right? And I'm the owner and operator of Hoops Mastery University. If your athlete, right, is struggling, if your athlete is struggling, right, mentally and or physically, trying to put it all together, and you as a parent just don't really know exactly how to help them or know the process, right, you can start by going check out my free case study video, right? And that's at BeTheRightRecruit.com. BeTheRightRecruit.com. There's where I'm gonna give you, right, like really like 3 things from a coach's perspective, right, that we look for when we're recruiting athletes, right? 3 things that athletes should do also, right, to be able to help put them in a better position to be recruited. All right, so if you haven't had a chance to check out that free case study video, go check it out at BeTheRightRecruit.com. And if you would like for my team and myself to be able to help you and your athlete out with helping them get unstuck, right, get more clarity, and ultimately be more recruitable, then definitely reach out to us. All right, Coach Carvel Bailey, peace.